Okay, hello everybody. Let's get ready. Let's get started. I think the best way to start would be let's just go with Abhishek and Abby. Let's get the switch map out of the way, and then we can go and do the remaining demonstrations. Is that okay? Which one of you would like to go first? All right. Okay, Abby, please go ahead.
Hi everyone. So I have been working on the historical device movement and historical charts related to the device. I'll share my screen. So this is the new history page. It just shows the zone history and system as of now. And like we can search the host name here. And we can change the date here. Yeah. Then I've been working on the device related history charts. So last time these were all mock data, but now this is from the backend.
Okay.
Yeah, so I collaborated with Abhishek and added new OIDs for CPU and memory usage for Cisco. So next step would be adding it for generic and Juniper.
Okay.
Yeah. And adding the time date range here and some more optimization. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
And that's it? All right.
Yeah.
That's good to see. So let's see how we can get some like live data that we can then use to get us get some more understanding of what that would look like, and some maybe even some traffic data with between you and Abhishek. So I think that would be great.
Okay. Yeah, that's the next step. Like connection chart, Abhishek would be working on the back end, and I would be working on the front end.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
All right. Let's move on to the next one. All right, so Abhishek, are you there? Okay, so it doesn't look as if Abhishek is here. Who would like to go next after? Abhishek? Okay. No, you're not audible. So try and get that fixed, and then let's go with Divyanshu next. Okay, Divyanshu, please go. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. So let me share my screen. Is the screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. So I have completed the CRUD operations related to recurring events. So let me show you. So as you can see, the query performance related to the compared to the past year, it's very good now. You can, and it's related to each other. So if I update anything in a particular event, let's say update name and description for all.
Hold on, your screen isn't being shared.
It's not visible to you?
No.
Is it visible now?
No, all I'm seeing is you are sharing the entire screen. That's it. All right, so while you get that fixed, let's see if we can move on to someone else. Mohit?
Okay, so
So,
Yeah.
am I audible now?
Oh yes, Abhishek, you're audible. Please go ahead.
Okay. So as planned, I continued working on multi-processing replacement. So that part is almost done.
Mm-hmm.
I integrated the complete like the asynchronous architecture that I was working on, and I tested it with the complete switch map, like running out all the daemons together, and it's correctly working with other daemons as well.
Okay.
And as we mentioned already, we started working together on adding new matrices for switch map. So sir, I have a doubt regarding it. Like currently, as Abhi has already added up OIDs for the memory uses and the CPU uses, so she has added for Cisco one only. So, like what I have done previous was I have added OIDs for the generic one. That should work together for both of the devices.
Okay.
But what happening in my case, that Cisco devices was not actually responding to the generic OIDs, but they are just responding to their specific OIDs only.
Right.
So should I add only the OIDs specific to Cisco and Juniper?
Well,
Or
you use all three, and then what you can do is, if one of them responds, then just track that data. So what it would mean would be that instead of tracking based on the OID ID, you just track on the type of data. So it'd be like CPU or memory. And then that way you don't have 3 or 4 different chart options when you're doing the drop downs. Does that make sense? Because I had to try, I had to do that with VLANs because when I was writing the code, because the VLANs, what is it? The VLANs, Cisco and Juniper use different VLAN OIDs, and because of that, I had to do this sort of like a generic database column just for that. Okay, so you're going to have to think about that as well.
so can I do this in a way like first to identify that which device is actually, then based on that I can either, like if the device is Cisco, then I can directly uh, check or pull for the Cisco ID only.
Yeah, that's what I did with the VLANs. I think so. Yeah, just run with that. All right. And okay, so you're working on getting the CPU stuff done. And when would you start getting like the traffic data? Has that started yet?
No, sir. Next part is
Okay.
that part.
Okay.
After the CPU usage.
Okay, good. I'd like to see this in action fairly soon. Okay, Abby, please go ahead.
So yeah, so last time we discussed, we decided that I will deal with the CPU and memory because it will take some time for me to get the code that he did, right?
Oh.
So yeah, so we were thinking like just the device related charts I would do, and after that he can immediately start the connection related, like the errors, unicast, and everything.
Okay.
Then yeah, I can start the front end for that, and so it would be in sync.
Right. That's going to go much faster because the data for errors and traffic are universally accepted. So there's going to be a lot less troubleshooting for that. So okay, so we should get some good data. All right, thanks. That's really good. Does anybody else have any questions? I know. Okay, Divyanshu, let's go to you. Let's see if you can share your screen again. Yes, we can see it now.
Okay, so I created a daily picking event, as you can see, and the query performance is also good now, because before when I just changed to a month, it was loading. It was taking a lot of time in loading, so it's improved now. And let me show you the how update works. So we have like okay. So we have three options: update only this instance, this and following, and update all events in the series.
Okay.
So we can only update name and description for all instances at a time.
Okay.
Right. So let me update this. So we have updated these values for all the recurring events.
Okay.
Okay. So let me split here. So when I change the recurrence of any event, then it only shows one option: update this and
Oh, okay. Right.
okay. So we are splitting here. So what I've done is here is that whenever we split any recurring series, then after a split, that recurring series is also a separate recurring series.
Oh, okay.
It's similar to a Google Calendar, because
Right.
these two recurring series is now completely different.
That's right.
If I update say new name and choose this, so we are updating this series only.
Right.
It only occurs when there is when we are changing the recurrence of that event.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is in my address. If I yeah, we can create an exception also. Say so
Okay.
this is here, and if I delete, we have three options also: delete all events, only this and this. If I update, delete all. Because I created a split here,
Mm-hmm.
so that series only get deleted.
Right.
And this is a separate series, so we need to do this separately. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Generally speaking, what I'm seeing also, I'm just looking at the UI, the modals aren't consistent. Like you have some buttons that are white, and I think in some other modals in other parts of the application, I think they're blue. And like when you do the mouse over, they're blue. But take a look and see what the others do and try and get something that looks more consistent. Okay? I mean, what you have is consistent with what you've been writing, but it's not consistent with the rest of the application. So that's the first thing. The second thing is you make mention of instances in the pop-ups, and it should really be like this day, this week, this month, because the end user will not necessarily understand what an instance is. What you can do is just see what wording like Google Calendar does and see whether what you have matches. Okay?
Okay, so I did that thing in the backend, but not updated the front end. We can do here is that we can show the count of that event in a recurring series. Like it's a event number 2 from out of 10 events, something like that.
No.
Progress kind of thing.
No, I'm not. That's not what I'm talking about. But that would be a good feature. But I don't. Yeah, sometimes the more information you have, the more likely it's going to create confusion for the end user. What I'm talking about is like, say for example, you do an edit. Like, okay, edit something on this event for example. Yeah. Okay. And now you're going to do right. So hold on. Yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about, where it says only this instance. Right, so the user, it's like if it's running daily, well, I'm just thinking that it would make more sense to say like this week or this month or whatever. But then if we then have custom dates like every 2 days or the third week of the month, etc., that may not work so well.
Yeah, so like we have this custom recurrence here. Suppose if this is a daily, we have three options: neighbor, on, till a end date, and after a number of occurrences. Like
Okay.
say 5.
Hey, hold on. You see that you've got that custom recurrence label. It doesn't have the translation there. So take a look at that later on. And why? Okay, is this these are two modals, one on top of the other. Is that why we have two X's?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Okay.
I am selecting from here.
Okay. I wonder how we can make that more obvious. Because what we don't want is to have the person clicking two X's, the wrong X, right? So if there's a way in which you can just show only one, maybe one one overlaps the other perfectly, so that there's only one X at a time, that might make it a little easier.
Like, okay, so
Yeah.
when I click on that, it will not work. Like, it will first close this.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Okay. That it's still going to be confusing. Take a look and see what Google does for that. Okay. Because I'm sure they wouldn't have two X's on it. But this is good. Yeah, so Jai's saying, can you say back instead? Yeah, I think that could work also. Yeah, so Divyanshu, just take a look at the UI a little closer for Google, and I think we should get it going. But wow, I'm glad to see that this is done. What we had before was so slow and so buggy, and the fact that you managed to get this working is really excellent. So what other things do you have planned? Because like these models will probably have to do the various translations, and like what else would you be doing for the next 2 weeks?
Now we are going. I am going to work on the association part. Suppose we have a lot of. I think there is an error. Okay, let me wait. Okay, so each event we have action items like
Oh,
this,
yes.
suppose, but we are creating action items for one event only. But we need to associate those action items to the whole recurring series. If
Okay.
I update any action item, then it should reflect on all series and something like this. So now I am going to work on the association part. I am taking action items and volunteers as a model.
Okay.
And after that, I will work on attendance part.
All right. So one of the things that you should do is make sure that the tests for events are really thorough, because this is something that we can't afford to break again. Right. So if you can, if you can, try to get it as close to 100% code coverage, and then if we get modifications to it, we'll feel confident that it's going to work properly. But it needs to be very thoroughly tested. I don't want to get back to a situation where we find ourselves having the event calendar just not working and being very slow and very buggy like it used to be before. All right, so this is good to see. All right,
Okay,
go ahead.
Okay, so like as Mithil said, that the target on the API branch is like 67 earlier, so I updated that thing in my PR, which is on update. So now the target of Codco will be 90%. So if you want, like we can use that more.
Yeah, but I'm saying for your stuff specifically, when you're doing your patches, try to get it as close to 100% because of how important this feature is and the history of it. Okay.
And I just wanted to tell you one thing or more. So we are creating the events for 1 year for never-ending triggering series.
Yes.
After that, there will be a cron job which will extend that 1 year window based on the different organizations, and we have 3 months retention window. We will have only past 3 months events only. Before that, it will get deleted or something like that.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense, and then that way we can limit the load on the database. All right.
Yeah.
And how would that cron job be triggered?
Like it will be automatic. Suppose if my window reaches to 1 month before, like past years, one year, like before 1 year window, let's say before 1 month of that window. So, like I will look into it more better. So how can we not bloat that thing? Like cloning every minute or every hour, something else. I will need to improve on that.
Right. So there's something that I've seen, like, but what I'm trying to get at is that with certain but I'm trying to see how we can prevent the user having to get to the Linux command line and set up a cron job and that stuff. And I've seen with some applications like WordPress, the WordPress updates itself automatically without a cron job. It seems as if there's some sort of a triggering event that then makes WordPress do or let you know that something has changed. So you may want to try and think about how that would work. Like, for example, plugins. You'll log in and it'll tell you that this plugin needs to be updated. So I don't know whether that is just handled when you log in or whether it's handled by some sort of a special URL that you go to and then it triggers the updates. But you can have an option in WordPress where you can tell it to auto-update plugins and you can also tell it to do manual without having to go to a cron job. So if you can think of ways or find ways in which some of these other applications have done this seamlessly, that would be good, okay?
Okay, so the trigger will be automatic. I have a separate a table in the database for storing the that end date of that window. If current date reaches to the before 1 month of that end date of that 1 year window, then it will automatically create events for that next 1 year. So user don't have to do anything.
Okay.
It will be automatic
Okay.
in the backend.
Right. Okay. On the back end. But then what about the hold on. Then what about the purging of the events that are 3 months ago? How is that handled?
It's also automatic.
Okay.
Same as the generating part.
Oh, I see. So it's automatically purged when the person goes back, but not when it's not like a separate job that goes through all the calendar entries. Then that's what you're saying?
It's like we are comparing to the current date of that current date for comparing. Like, so if my current date and the window, if the events are more than 3 months in the past, then it will delete all the events from that before that 3 months.
Yes, but okay, I wanted to spend a little more time on this. But when does that happen? Does that happen when the user is logged in and then navigates back in time, or does it just happen automatically without them having to go back?
We have a background worker which checks for all the organizations continuously, or say each month or each day. We can
all right.
That. So
okay, so it's a worker within the Docker container. All right, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, thank you. All right, does anybody else have any questions for Divyanshu? Okay, no. All right, let's see. Who would like to go next? Okay, Mohit, please go ahead.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. So am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
I've been working on fonts, pledges, and campaign in the app. So the feature for fonts, campaign, and pledges is now completed in the app. I have made a short workflow video. So I am sharing my screen.
Okay. Right. So all of this stuff is going to be visible by the end user then.
Yes.
Okay.
By any user.
All right. Right. They'll be able to see everything that's going on with the campaign, and then people would be able to use that to hopefully get people to donate more. All right. That's good.
So yeah, that's
Okay. So what challenges have you been facing with it and your mentor?
I'm sorry.
What challenges have you faced with getting this feature working?
So challenge. I don't think there is much something of challenge in
Okay.
implementing this.
Okay.
So I just have to learn some backend to implement this.
Okay. Good. Somebody just recently put in a PR on the web front end to adjust, to get the whole pledges set of screens working, and it looks as if they've managed to get it working correctly. I'm glad to see that we can get that also put in the mobile app as well. What I'd like you to do is just spend a little more time on the UI, because what I was looking at had some repetition. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Should I share screen again?
Yeah, just share it one more time.
Okay.
All right, so these are the funds. Okay, and then then you have the so click on View Campaign. All right, so now right here you've got two campaigns. All right, okay, I see. So that makes sense. And then we go through, and this is when you click on the pledges, right? Oh, hold on. How did you get there? Can you just go back, please? Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. How do you go from the campaign to the pledging? Do you click on the View Campaign?
No, I am clicking on the update button to update the campaign, on which I am a pledger.
Okay. All right. Okay. Good. So you've got.
So I can only update the pledges on which I am a pledger. So like this Harvey Lens it can update pledges for which he is a pledge.
Right. Okay. Is there a way to filter this?
Sorry, no.
Yeah. Can you filter it by pledger? Because by default, you know what? I have a feeling that most people are not necessarily going to want to see what the amount of money that they've pledged. So I think maybe better for us just to have what you have pledged versus what everybody else has done. And then that would also help, because if it's a very large campaign and there are like thousands of people who are making pledges, it'll be difficult for the person to potentially see what they're donating.
So user can only see pledges which he has made, or which he has or which he will be pledging.
Oh, I see. Okay, got it.
So the Build Shepherd pledge is created by Harvey Lens.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you added pledges for it. Okay, I see what you're saying. All right, so hold on. Yeah, like just go back. Stop a second. You've got the pledge. Yes, just stop. Hold on. Put it on pause. Right. So right here, you've got multiple cards, right? And the card has pledge, pledger, pledge, pledger. That's really really repetitive, and it's not necessary because you're already on the pledge screen. So maybe you could just have less of this repetition, right? Like for example, the heading. Do we really need to have pledge and pledger there? So investigate ways in which we can make that a little more intuitive, or not so much intuitive, but more or less repetitive. Because you're wasting real estate on a very small screen, for example.
Sure.
Okay. And then, okay. Good.
The bar for raised has increased.
Yes. Okay. Good. Alright, I think what we're going to need to do is like a little later on, maybe for next year, we're going to have to modify the way that the look and feel of some of these screens are. We try to get away from the green in the web app because of issues with color blindness, and we're going to have to think about it for the mobile app. But this is good to see that the pledges are working once more, because before it was just hidden from the end user. So that's good. Okay, thank you. Does anybody else have any questions? Okay, all right, thanks. And all right, who's next? Okay, Jai, please go ahead.
Hello everyone. So today I'll be presenting the architectural flow of plugin as suggested by my mentor. So like everyone is aware how plugins are working, but before that I'll quickly wrap up what did I do this bi-weekly. So let me share my screen. Okay, so like if someone of you remember from the earlier meeting, so when I did integrate the GraphQL for plugins, it looks something like this. We didn't have the exact replication of the photos GraphQL, and it was something stringified. To just give an idea or like to create an MVP of the GraphQL extension itself, but as the API uses the photos GraphQL, in which we have the builder first approach, and in basically GraphQL we should be able to dynamically select the fields, else it would defeat the purpose. So I did some modifications in the plugin schema managers and replicated the exact same plugin GraphQL implementation for plugin as in the rest of the core code. So the developers are also more comfortable and we have all the features on board as we have normal GraphQL. We'll like soon see the correct values when we go by. So I'll start with the architecture flow of the plugin. And so firstly, we have a developer who creates a plugin, and we have all those plugins available here in the plugin repository, like we have plugin map and Razorpay right now. So then we have like admin API folders in plugin itself, so that more of the development part rather than architecture. Okay, so then we have the manifest which defines what the plugin does in both of those. Like for this, it says the description, versions, and plugin IDs and the extension point it uses. And we'll finally pack it as a zip file and we'll download it. So I probably have already it here as a zip file. So then the admin will open the plugin show UI and select a plugin zip file. So this happens behind the scenes. It will validate if the plugin will function after the installation, and it correctly defines all the extensions. So for example, I'll select the plugin map right here. Okay, so it detects these files which were already present inside the plugin, and we have this install thing. So if the validation fails, so it will end and show the user error, so we can like get another zip file. And if the validation succeeds, we'll go to the plugin installation part. So what it does it extract the zip components using a file utility in admin and GraphQL uploads API in the backend, and it will write files to the admin and API code base. So right now we'll go to the SRC plugin and available. We just had a readme that this is reserved for the plugins installation. Similarly, we'll have an API. So what it will do, it will use the file utilities I've already created and write the files. We'll see it here. I think there was some. Let me just. Okay. Okay, so the API is working now. Let's see. Okay, so it installs it successfully, and this is just because we don't have a CDN. So I'll later remove this override also when we
Okay.
directly upload. So it shouldn't be an install button here, right?
Right.
That was made for the CDN purpose if we are pulling from the web.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how does the file writing work. So we can see here we have the plugins, all the files related to plugins written here, and we see the file utility here shows us that it did read the files, write it properly. If it fails midway, so it will roll back the entire thing,
Okay.
and there won't be any mess. And similarly, we will find it in the API also. For the new plugin, we have the GraphQL database definitions, everything. So what happens next? So in admin front end, we can initialize query database, but the focus will be right now on backend. So it initializes plugin manager, query database for install plugins. Okay. So like we have, I did run the select statement before, but it showed that there doesn't exist a database for the plugin map. But hopefully if I do it again, so the database has been created by the managers when the plugin was installed. So okay. Yes. So the installation part has been completed. Now we'll move to activation and deactivation. So basically what happens in activation, it will discover the plugin manifest, and then when we activate a plugin, it will load the front end components, and in backend it will register schema. So the table creation is in the installation part, not in activation actually. So we'll activate it, and we can see here we have this plugin map. So what happens in backend is we'll see a schema rebuild thing here. Okay, we have this successful here, and better we can visualize it using the GraphQL itself here right now. So I did run this introspection query before, and we can see we don't have any plugin map specific queries and mutations. That means it is just the pure code core of the API. But if I run it again, we'll find some new fields prefixed with plugin map to avoid any collisions between the already existing GraphQL and the new dynamically created. And similarly, we'll find a few bunch of plugin map mutations. So now this must be now functional now. So we have nothing in the database yet. So now the backend and front end integration of plugin is also complete with the photos GraphQL PR getting merged. It has been already merged. So we can just for the development or documentation purposes, this plugin is made for documentation only. So the developer can test then when he uses this particular extension point and sends a backend request, so how it is implemented and what he'll receive in the backend. So we'll see here. So it shows a ID, poll number, user ID. Okay, so since it is a global extension point on the admin side and not specific to any organization, so we don't have an organization ID, but we have a user role and user ID. But if we go specifically inside organization and create a poll from here, so then we can see we did receive an organization ID. So this way the plugin developer can properly manage the organization specific features and global features. So we can also see the poll has been received. And similarly, we can go to the user side also. Yes. User slash organization slash yes. So we'll go here and do a request here. So this time it should say user role is user and it is an organization specific. But for organization specific features, we can also get an organization ID from this extension point. So this shows we have 4 extension points and we can cover all the features, all the cases when we can have an admin organization specific, user organization specific, or just a user global, admin global, and which extension point the developer can use. Okay, so then we move to the deactivation part. So when I'll deactivate this plugin, so it will remove the front end things and rebuild the GraphQL schema. So we'll go back to the introspection query and we can run this and we'll find that
Still there.
it should yeah, it is still there, but
Okay. Oh, all right. So I want to make sure.
it's just
Hold on.
actually I haven't tested the uninstallation or deactivation part yet. It
Okay.
is to be done. Also, this keep data functionality.
All right.
So, but the remove will work, so it will eventually remove everything.
All right. Good. How would, so the way that you're working this thing, the plugins are all going to be a part of the Talua plugins repository, correct?
Yes.
All right. How can third-party repositories be included in this? So if somebody wants to create their own repository, and
Yes.
yeah, and the person could probably put in their own URL or something, how would that work? Or have you considered that?
Like if he develops his own plugin
Mhm.
and has a zip file which is compatible with our architecture, so it will get uploaded and it's up to him, like he can store in other repositories or something. So that's
Oh,
acts
okay.
as a code, yes.
All right. So now the next question, have you documented this? Because what you have here is quite complicated.
Yes, I have documented it, but also I did ask on group for someone to deploy it.
Well,
Here we have docs
oh, I
for
see.
yes, we have developer resources on the architecture, like
Okay.
life cycling, extension points, and the basic plugin development, how they have to structure the plugins and everything we have in place, but it is yet to be deployed.
Okay, hang on a second then. Oh, all right. So this needs to be deployed for the Talua plugins repository.
Yeah, in
Okay.
admin and API, I did already add
Oh, I see. Okay.
docs plugin Talava.io. It is just to be deployed from the plugin repository.
Okay. All right. So we need to put that. All right. So we need to create a
Yes,
YAML file
and
and get
as admin and API.
yeah.
Similar.
Okay. We need to create a deployment GitHub action, and then we get that up and running. All right. That would really
Yes.
help. All right. I'll see how I can do that earlier in the week or later in the week. But that's good to see. All right. Excellent. Is this diagram that you just showed us, is that also in the documentation that you have?
No, the link is not available to, but at the end of project, so like it will be
Yeah.
modified. At the end of project,
Okay.
you can add it.
Yeah, but rather than making it a Figma link, I think it might be better for us just to put it in to also have it as like a JPEG or PNG.
Yes, so I'll
Mhm.
shift it to Figma. It will take some time, but we can do.
So, is this, no, oh, so what you have here is not Figma?
No, actually
Okay.
it is a
Okay, all right. Yeah, well,
so like it takes like lesser time to do
Mhm.
it because we can write the architectural flow and it has its own AI to generate the
oh,
diagrams.
okay, I see.
Don't have to.
Yeah, I think,
we'll-
okay, well, somehow we need to have this diagram available. And it's usually better if you have the diagram available within the repository rather than external, because then if somebody changes their repository, decides to delete something, it's going to be
Yes.
problematic. Okay, good.
I'll shift it to Figma and we can export it. Like actually
Mhm.
initially it was like difficult to
Okay.
make all the connections.
Right.
So I did use AI for this purpose because
Okay.
I did write the architecture, so I was aware about it.
All right,
So
that makes
using
sense.
some new tools, I was able to do it quickly. So
Okay.
I'll shift it now. It will be very easy now. We
Okay.
just have to make some boxes.
All right,
Yes.
thanks. This is good. All right, so the next one would be trying to see how the Razor Pay and whatever works, right? As a plugin.
Yes, like I'm working on the payment.
Okay. All right. Excellent. All right. Thanks a lot. Does anybody have any questions? Yes, Manish, go ahead.
When you install the plugin or uninstall the plugin, so it's reloading the API, right? So if there are any requests, are the requests to core APIs at that time?
No, like it won't actually reload the API in production because right now we are using development. So basically I won't be installing TSX files or writing it to the code base. It will be going to the built-in production.
Okay. How will it work in the production? Like I'm installing a plugin, right? So it
Yes.
will write the codes in the backend API, and then
Uh,
we will load the
yes.
schemas, GraphQL schemas, and all stuff, right?
Yes.
At that time, I think any other request to the application will fail.
Any other request to the application will fail.
Yes, like if I'm something doing related to events or notification other stuff. So if
Hmm.
at the time the application is reloading, like I'm uploaded the zip file and activated this thing. So
Hmm.
at that time it's rebuilding the GraphQL the schema, I think. So
Yes.
the request at that time the API is rebuilding this. So I think
Yes,
it
with
will.
the current implementation, it will be. But like when we move to production, so I'll be basically using the already built files, and also for the schema reload, I'll be looking for something so that it adds the GraphQL for the plugin without like reloading the code API. You getting my point? Like what I
Yes,
want to
yes,
say?
I understand. I think
Yes.
you can look into the worker threads or run a whole plugin system on another thread of the Node.js. It won't
Hmm.
harm the core
Yeah.
API features.
Yeah, like if we want plugin, so we'll have some computation overload. Definitely,
Yeah.
yes, because we need some parallel things. So yes, I'll be doing few adjustments in for production, like using the build files, and the schema manager will be slightly different than now.
Okay.
Right. So one of the things that we need to make sure, Jay, is that the code base gets moved from development to production is identical, and just use some sort of variables to make the differences between them, or else we will,
Yes, sir.
or else we're going to have issues. Okay.
Sure.
All right. Does anybody else have any questions? We only have about 10 minutes left, and I want to make sure we get everybody through. Okay, no? All right. Who's next? Okay, Manish, and let's go.
So I worked on the email notification system in the last 2 weeks. So here is a demo. Actually, API is not running as I was doing some other ones. So here is the video.
All right, so what are we doing? Can you just talk about what's going on in the video?
Yeah.
All right, I see.
So what I have done is we have integrated the SCS with our code base. So
Okay.
whenever we create a notification to related, like we have to send an email to the user, that may be end user, maybe a single person or the members of the of organization. So we'll first create those things in the DB, and every 30 seconds it pull up the undelivered emails from the database, and it sends to the user. So SCS.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and how is it doing that? Because one of the things that we had before was that the end user was sending emails like through a Gmail account, and that does not scale.
Yeah, that does not scale. So I'm using Amazon SCS, AWS SCS, simple email service. That is what we need to pay for. Like, we have to pay typically $1 for 10,000 of emails. That's SMTP server. So
Okay.
before that, we talked about the self-hosted SMTP servers, but the thing is the outbound port 25 is blocked in every VPS out there. Like,
I see. Right. Okay.
EC2 or Digital Ocean, they block the 25 number of ports. So we really cannot self-host any type of SMTP server, so we have to use any type of paid service like SCS right now I'm using. So here is the SCS config file. It's my personal one, but yeah, we
Okay.
can document it for the users. It's so easy to create and just put those things in the .env.
All right. So, like with GoDaddy, which is where we have our servers for the test and demo accounts of Talawa, it allows you to set the SMTP server for all GoDaddy servers or for your account. So, we're going to need to test this to see whether it works with GoDaddy.
Yeah, I will share my personal things also, personal issue like AWS private key also, and that was the IAM role base, so I have no issues with that. And I will also document the things to create the IAM private key and the ID of the AWS accounts to get
Okay.
the SMTP.
Well, what I'm saying though is the way that GoDaddy gets around this issue is that when you have a VPS, it tells you to use a GoDaddy specific SMTP server. And
GoDaddy.
yeah,
So actually, in SES, what we have to do, we have to create a SES account first. Then we can actually connect any type of any type of any type of domain related to this. Like I have this one, so we have to just add these values, and I have this. This is my personal one. I have
right.
created. So like this, we can create something mail@paloa.io or something like that. So we can send the emails from that domain to anyone else.
Yeah, what I recognize that, but we also need to make sure that it can work with whatever the VPS provider provides, so that the end user doesn't necessarily have to go and purchase services from another party. So
No, it will work with any kind of VPS code there. So we don't need to, like, it's not specific to any type of
okay.
thing with
All right. Right. So what I'm going to, okay, so when you're ready, I'd like to see how we can get this to work using the GoDaddy mail servers so that people who are testing it on the demo and test.talawa.io sites can see that it works specifically for them. All right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'd like to get that sorted out like in the next 2 weeks or so. So send me an email or a WhatsApp text, and then we can see how we can start doing some testing for that. That's going to be important. And then maybe somebody can test it out using whatever mail servers that AWS provides by default versus using a third party. I'm not saying that a third party is wrong. I'm just saying that we need to make sure that the most likely mail services that are going to be available work. Okay. All right, but this is good to see. I'm glad to see that we're using something that's extra. All right, external. Okay, Jai, please go ahead.
Yes, Manish, for the schema thing, like if we do use a hot swap, like building the new schema in background, and for the and hot swap in the GraphQL would take a millisecond, and for that time we can queue the incoming request and swap the schema and then pass on the request. So, do you think it would work?
It will work. Like we also don't need to queue the request. Like
Because hot swap is really fast,
yeah.
but if we have like millions of requests per second, so then.
No, we don't have millions of requests. Like currently, we're also rebuilding those things, so you can also queue that in Redis if you want instead of implementing also, but that will also work.
I think hot swap would work. I know myself. All right. So I'll implement the same approach.
Okay. All right. Does anybody else have any questions? No.
So in the next, I will work with the GraphQL subscription for the chat implementation. Currently, I'm making the PR merge ready related to the email and email notifications.
All right. Good. Okay. Thank you. But who's next? I think we may just have like one more person. Yeah. Okay. Syed. Oh wow. We have 3 more people. Okay. Syed, please go ahead.
So hi everyone. Am I audible right now?
Yes.
So hi Peter. So for the last 2 weeks, I've been working on getting the more of the midterm deliverables done.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I got my PR merged on the integration test on the mobile application.
Right.
And then the recently I also implemented the code coverage feature on the E2E test on the admin side as well. Apart from this, the last 2 weeks have been more of an exploratory one. So, like I had a meeting with my mentors and decided on what we are going to use in order to automate the generation of unit tests. That part of the project basically. So we have went ahead and decided to go use Keploy's PR agent. So in order to create a unit test.
Mm-hmm.
So by this week, I will be working on creating a sample application like how that PR agent it could be implemented in our repositories. So once it is approved, then we can go ahead and just start implementing the official reports.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Good. All right. And we also need to make sure that that code coverage test works because it doesn't seem to be working properly right now. So I noticed that we're going back and forth in it. So please keep that as a part of your to-do list as well.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
All right, thanks. Any questions for anybody? No? I think we had Vanchika and then Satyam. Vanchika, please go ahead.
Yes, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes. So I was working on getting back the post page on admin. So I got it and then I started working on redesigning the post page for both users and admin portal. I have redesigned it for user portal. I'm sharing my screen so that everyone can see and like give me the feedback about how can I just improve it. Yeah, so this is how the user portal post page looks like. As Peter told me in the last meet, I've taken inspiration from Instagram stories and posts. Here, if we click on this, the post will be coming on screen. And then we have like and dislike features, just like we have on Instagram. And we can just comment or like any comment, do the post. Everything is working fine here. Another thing is that the course issues is resolved on deployment site as well. So now if we go to test.lava.io, we won't be seeing any course error. So yeah, and another thing is that now the API is deployed on API test.lava.io. So in case anyone might be trying on the last URL, it might not be working. Oh, is it working, Peter, or is anything happened with?
You're going to have to go to iGraphQL or /
Okay.
Yeah. There we go.
So it's working. Yeah. So now this is our backend URL. And one more thing, Peter. Satyam told me that the WSS, like if we go here and we try to connect to this, it's fine that it's not able to connect because we have mentioned the front-end URL, which is this. But the thing is that we have to make sure that WSS is also activated at Apache server. We haven't activated it yet. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a WSS module that needs to be enabled. All right.
Yes, we'll have to configure it.
All right. So put that in the documentation, and then when that's done, just send it to me, and I'll implement it on both systems.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Another question I had. Do I have to update the documentation for server here on developer resources after introduction?
I think you should do it as part of installation because it's going to be used by the end users whether or not they are developers, right?
Got it.
Yeah, so put a separate menu item under that getting started section, maybe right after installation, and then we can get that working.
Got it.
All right, so I just want to go back to the, okay, so can you scroll back up? Right.
Yeah.
That's right. So the thing that you have here that looks like Instagram stories, are those the pinned posts?
Yes, these are the pinned posts.
All right. So this is what hold on. So this is what I was talking about. The pinned posts need to look more like the posts themselves. Okay, and then they scroll right, because say for example, and the reason that this is important is the reason why we want to have a pinned post is so that the end user or the person who's scrolling will be able to see exactly what's going on. So, for example, if somebody, an administrator says that there's going to be a wedding and don't come to the to the hall that day, just having it as a tiny little circle is not going to have any impact. So, right, so it's going to have to look more like what a regular post is, and then you can scroll back and forth. That isn't to say, right, that we don't also at some future point have a stories type of feature like what you have here in terms of the look and feel. But to start with, the purpose of the pinned posts is to be more informative than what stories are. The whole idea behind stories is, and making it so tiny, is that people want to click on it and then all the ads come up as the stories pass by, right? But in this case, the pinned posts are the important part. Right, so the Instagram design is designed in that way for completely a different objective. And we may want to have that objective with a stories type feature later on, but not right now. Understood? Okay. I will try to like do a little video of like one of these mobile apps that I use to give you an idea as to what I'm thinking about. But this is good. All right?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Yeah. One more question I had actually. I wanted to ask that should we add a notification section here because just to fill the spaces?
Yeah, yes, we could do that. And then another thing, if you just scroll down slightly in Instagram, is the add comment on the web version at the bottom or is it at the top? Because the reason why I'm asking this is because if somebody's really lucky or this post is really lucky and somebody gets like 1 million comments, does that mean the person is going to have to scroll down through the 1 million comments? Right? Oh, I see. So it scrolls there. All right. So that's how Instagram does it?
Yes, I think. I don't use Instagram actually.
Okay. All right. We're going to have it'd be good if we can get, or maybe TikTok does something similar. All right, Manish, please go ahead.
Please don't solve the comments or under the post later, button to see the comments so that you can also paste the comments like offset based or a cursor based pagination for the comments. Like if we'll have like millions of comments under a post, so we can see the comments maybe right side to the post or left side or under the post. And also like to create a post, please add a plus icon, and you do not need to scroll up to create a post, something like that.
Oh, but she also has a post there. All right.
Yeah, and notification is not organization specific, like it's individual specific. So that notification panel will be related to the before the organization thinks in the starting of the channel.
Right. Okay. Vanshika, if you can take a look at, there must be like YouTube videos as to how the web version of Instagram works or the web version of TikTok, if such a thing exists, to provide inspiration as to how you can get this to work more more intuitively. But this is a big improvement over what we had before. So, all right, over the next 2 weeks, try to see how we can get a little more stuff. Yeah. So Jai's saying that they use modal for comments with pagination. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is much better. I'm glad to see that this is finally working. Just much better than it was before. And all right, so I'm assuming that this would be the same look and feel in the admin side, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
It will be the same admin as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Thank you. This is excellent. Does anybody else have any questions? No? Okay. Satyam, please go ahead.
Hi, Peter.
Hi.
So I worked like for the past 2 weeks. I worked on the group chats that we discussed in the last meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's completed. Let me present my screen. Okay. Is it visible?
Yes.
So I've recorded my screen. So the whole flow is like I've used the same UI UX that we are using in the app.
Mm-hmm.
It consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And what I have done is currently I have I have made sure that on minimum 3 members are needed to create a group, because 2 members would be basically a direct chat.
Right.
So minimum 3 members are needed, and I have kept a cap of 100 people. We can increase it according to you. So we can put the group name, the description, and basically the user who is creating the group will be the group creator and the admin.
Mm-hmm.
And we can he will already be added, and we can select the org members who we want to add into the group.
Right.
So basically we can add it, create a group, and if we try to create a group less than 3, we will get an error, and basically for the 4, more than 3 or 3, we will be able to create a group.
Right. So rather than getting an error, just make the button grayed out or something. That might be better, right?
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Okay.
And we also can edit the creator or an admin of the group can edit the group, its name or description accordingly, and we can also kick out or basically remove members who are creating nuisance, or basically the members themselves can also leave the group.
Right.
So as we can see, the description has been changed, and I have kept the created time to the local time of the person in whichever country he is. So they will see the time, and we can remove the member from here.
Right.
And also we can only the creator of the group can delete that group, because not all admins can delete it. Only the creator can
right.
delete it. And the admin or creator can add any member. Basically, so yeah.
Okay.
That's the whole working.
Right. So what you just mentioned that the time is in the local time, but the database would have it as UTC, right?
Yeah, I have converted it.
Okay.
Basically.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
We already had a file, we already had a file, basically chat users, which I use. Time conversion. So we had a method for it.
Right.
I just basically use that method.
All right.
So first I converted into a local string, then I split it into date and time.
All right. I just wanted to make sure that we were storing it in a consistent way in the database.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
And the subscription are working locally. So as you can see, all the members who are commenting have their names and time under the messages displayed.
Right.
And if it touches the whole screen, we can also I have implemented pagination. So I have implemented around 32 messages at a time. So if we try to scroll up, it will load more messages.
Okay.
So
good.
Basically it is completed. Only minor modifications, as you suggested, not showing the grade button. Only that is remaining, which will be solved this week only. So we can close this, and then I can start working on the next deliverable, which is the donations fund.
Okay. Good. All right, you're going to need to communicate with Jai on that because you want to make sure that the donations are only available if the donation plugin is working or installed.
Right, so we need to integrate the plugin for the donation in the app. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, but the donation feature should be disabled if the donation API endpoint isn't there, right?
Okay, so if the API endpoint is available, then only
right.
we have to show it.
Yeah. Let's try.
Okay, I'll coordinate with Jay.
Yeah, because what we don't want is we don't want errors and crashing with the app. Okay, yes. Right. Okay, good. All right. Thanks. This is good. Do we have any questions? All right. If not, I think we've done everybody so far, right? Good. All right. So we've gone a little bit. Yes, Vanshika, go ahead.
Yeah, I actually had to ask everyone that I was planning to remove Nginx and Caddy from frontend and backend. So can it cause any breaking changes?
I don't know. But give it a try and see.
Okay, sure. I'll give it a try.
Yeah, because the Caddy and Nginx thing really messes up the core stuff, right?
Yeah, and we have actually set it up on servers, so we don't actually need those files in our code base. It actually confuses the developers as well. So,
right, yeah. And then we can always let people configure things appropriately on their own server, on the correct ports, etc. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, let's get that done quickly. And one less package to work with. You're going to also have to modify the documentation that refers to Caddy and like in the installation guides and things like that as well.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that stuff really gave me a big headache to try and get it to work. And the sooner we can get that code out, the better it's going to be. I understand why Adash did it in the first place, because he wanted to have a completely self-contained system, but most people are going to be installing this on some sort of a server that will have a web server there. There's no need for us to be doing or maintaining multiple sets of packages that we don't really need. Okay, that's good. All right, thank you very much, Vanshika. Is there any other questions from anybody else? All right, I think we're done. All right, thanks everybody, and we'll talk again in 2 weeks' time. I look forward to seeing the modifications in the database, not in the database, but in the repositories and the various PRs. Thanks a lot again, and I look forward to talking to you in 2 weeks' time. Okay, goodbye.